there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We are dental practice brokers nationwide. So we have an interesting story today. I will call it a case study. Case study. The dentist who thought he outsmarted the DSOs and wound up in the long run losing millions. We'll get into the specifics on this. Obviously, we changed some things around to maintain confidentiality. Before we do that, as you know, we're now in 28 states. We're in Ohio now. We've been doing this for 13 years. I was a dentist for 25 years. And we have 10 employees, including 2 CPA accountants, marketing director, operations director, and 5 development acquisition people. So we are growing, and we are excited to share this information with you. We're going to be here for a long time. I have no plans on retiring at all. So anyway, the information we're about to share, and by the way, our phone number is 201-663-0935. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com or nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. You can reach us from 8 a.m. East Coast to 9 p.m. East Coast time. We answer the phone every day, except Christmas and Easter. So will you call? We're going to pick up. If you miss us, give us a ring back. Probably in 10 minutes we'll call you back. Now, what I'd like to tell you also is if you are a larger practice thinking about the DSOs, please give us a call. I get calls from them. I work with all the DSOs around the country, some of the largest, constantly. And we understand how they operate. We understand the changes they go through. We know more about them than the average practitioner will ever know, is because we go to contract with them. We go to negotiations with them on behalf of the seller. We see what the market is because we're in the middle of it, and we think we can share that with you. So when you work with us as brokers, generally all the DSOs pay our commission anyway, so there's usually no commission to the buyer. And when you work with us, where possible, based on criteria, your legal fees will be reimbursed upon successful closing. So you're essentially paying no legal fees, but we'll pay them to you at closing as a reimbursement. Either way, give us a call. But if you need some information about an appraisal or something, we can do that for you also. All right, so call us. Let's see what you have. We're here to help you. We're excited about the business. This is our full-time business. Dental practice brokerage is not a part-time business. We are here 7 days a week, 363 times a year. That's it. We're in this. So call us on this. What do we have today? So we have today, case study, this dentist is a GP dentist who did have certain characteristics, certain clinical abilities that maybe the normal dentist didn't have, and built basically a GP practice. So now, several $1 million he was grossing, she was grossing. We're changing some of the information, obviously, to protect the privacy. So the dentist had one location and worked with his accountant. She thought she had everything figured out with the EBITDA. EBITDA, as you know, is your net profit factoring back in paying the doctor to work there. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization, EBITDA. So the doctor thought, I got this figured out. Absolutely, I got this figured out. I know what my EBITDA is, and I want to multiple my EBITDA. First rule, when a DSO, and this is sale to a DSO, when a DSO makes you an offer, your EBITDA, we've talked about this in previous tapes, your net profit is only one factor in their determination of the value of your practice. It's one factor, all right? Maybe 30, 40, 50%. It's not everything. It's not take your EBITDA, multiply by X, that's what you're going to get. No. First of all, they have to like you as an individual. They have to be in your location, have to have enough operatories. They have to like the location. Is it high visibility or is it stuck in a condo? Do you have a hygiene program? One DSO cares about a good, strong hygiene program. Another one doesn't. Is there another dentist in your facility working with you, an associate? Some DSOs want the associate or they will not look at it. They don't care what your EBITDA is. They want a successor built in. So that's where they head. So there's so many different factors that come into this. Just realize that multiple factors will determine what the DSO is paying for your practice, not just your EBITDA. EBITDA does play a big role. They actually take your EBITDA and they extrapolate out pro forma. They create a pro forma. What are they going to earn on your practice in a year or so? So if you're paying 6% for supplies, they're going to wind up paying 3.5%. So, they extrapolate on what they expect your practice to be at. So anyway, let's get into this. So it was a multi-million-dollar productivity for the office. Doctor comes in with his accountants and everything, came up with their EBITDA, and the DSO did their EBITDA in putting their numbers in. And they said, well, these are our EBITDA numbers. So doctor was very upset that you got my EBITDA wrong. And they said, no, we don't have it wrong. Some of the things that you consider discretionary expenses, we don't. Whatever it is. If you expect continuing education to be discretionary, say, well, we as a DSO are going to give you money towards your discretionary expense, towards your continuing education. So for us, it will not be discretionary. All right? So the DSO had their own numbers together, what they thought the EBITDA was. The buyer had a much higher number based on his EBITDA. The EBITDA is also affected by the what percentage you as an employee will accept. Will it be 30%, 32%, 35%? The higher they pay you, the higher the EBITDA is good. The higher they pay you, the lower the EBITDA will be. The lower you accept as an EBITDA, the higher, that is, the lower you accept as a salary. I should correct me. If you're working at a lower fee, your EBITDA will be higher. If you insist on a higher fee, let's say 35%, your EBITDA will be lower, or the EBITDA they figure out will be lower. All right? Try to get that concept. So Doctor had a great deal. I brought Doctor 5 DSOs, I think. It was a great deal. The one DSO pretty much blew everybody out of the water. High down payment, a lot of extras. They were giving company stock. And that had value to it, You can't get that value today because the stock value is usually when they recapitalize. But if they've been around for 20 years and they made it through the recession and they made it through the depression, chances are they're going to be around longer. All right? So, excuse me, I need to hit my glasses on. It's bright here in New Jersey. The sun is finally out. So, there we go. The numbers that they came up with were a really great value. So compared to the other DSOs, they were the highest. And they also gave the most benefits. I'm talking stock, 401k, vision, health care for the family. It's a lot to the package. They have to add that back in, of course, too. That will affect the future EBITDA, the cost it is to service you. Plus, they were giving bonuses to the staff to, so to speak, continue to work. I mean, they were being very, very, very easygoing. Now, we are in a changing time. This is January, February 2023. The interest rates are continuing to go up. They're like 5-6% now for dental loans, 5.5%. They're going up, and they're not coming down. So you can't think, well, I'm just going to take my practice and sit back on it. I'm just going to earn plenty of money and then I'll sell in 2-3 years. No, you're not going to be able to catch up because you're paying 37%, 38% tax on the money you're earning plus your state tax. You're paying tax on that. All right? You work for somebody else, but when you sell to the DSO, you're getting a 20% tax bite instead of paying 37%. That's 17-18% difference. Of course, you'll have state tax to pay too, but you're paying 20% on the sale. majority of the sale, and you can swing it to a lot towards goodwill. Majority of the sale is capital gains at 20%. So you're getting this money in advance, so to speak, at 20%. If you hang in there for several years, say, oh, I'm just going to keep working and I'll make more money there. No, you're not going to make more because you'll be paying 37% tax. Plus your supply costs and everything will still be high. So it just doesn't work. And we went over this to a doctor again and again. You've got to look at the deal through the eyes of the buyers, because they're figuring out what your deal is going to be worth in a few years. And factoring all this info, you can't tell them. Now, of course, if you're even to as much higher than they're, significantly higher, then you do a line item review. What the doctor is counting is even to forth. What you're counting could be two different numbers because you're missing something major. So you've got to go over with the doctor to make sure you're on the same page as far as the write-offs, discretionary expenses, the future expenses. I need my glasses still. Woo! Future expenses are going to be. You've got to get this down pat. You've got to understand numbers. So this doctor will walk away from millions. Why? Because he didn't get that 20% of tax. He didn't pay 20% tax. He's paying 37% tax. His salary would go down somewhat, of course, because you're not getting hygiene in there. But on the other hand, you don't have all the headaches, the problems, the issues. You're free to let your mind expand. That's what happened to me. I retired a little young because my hands bothered me. And when my mind was free, that's when I figured out what I wanted to do. And it may just come to you, but you've got to have a free mind. So this doctor did walk away from millions. This doctor's accountant came up with the wrong calculations. And because of that, the accountant goes back to work, the doctor goes back to the dental office, figures everything's okay, he's going to make all this money now, then he's paying 37% capital gains. He has no stock investment. Now, he wants to sell it maybe a few years. What happens? Interest rates are already up. They'll probably be going up again. We're in difficult economic times. I personally feel that we're going, feel that we're going into recession, depression. I listen to Peter Schiff all the time, Harry Dent, something's going to happen. Now is not the time. Interest rates will continue to rise. As interest rates go up, the valuations of dental offices go down. That's it. You've got to learn this. Even if it's private equity money, they can put their money somewhere else. So there's always a cost of funds. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you've got to, this doctor's going to lose millions. The doctor, she will never know how much she lost because she hasn't figured out. Also, the time value of money. When you're getting that money in advance, there's a value to that. Because don't forget, you can take all that money and earn interest. Maybe interest nowadays, an annuity or something, is only 5%. I got it, or 4 or 5%. It's still low, but it's a lot more than it was before. So it's a situation now that doctor will never know what they lost. We try to explain it, they don't want to listen. I've moved on, got other practices much bigger than theirs. The DSO will move on. They'll find other practices. And you, the doctor, are stuck with your practice. Yes, I know you think you can get more money. I hear you. But I don't believe you're going to be able to that easy. Thank you. Bye.